Looks like chaos has been waiting for us.
Hello everybody and welcome to MN Gaming Previews. It's a lot like MN Gaming Reviews, except that we haven't really finished the game and we're just bringing you a little preview of something that's a little new or has caught a lot of people's attention. And this time around, we're going to be taking a short look at Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Certainly a mouthful of a title there, so I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to talk about a few things that I really like and a few things that I really didn't like. Before I talk about any specifics, I'm going to give you my opinion on this demo in a nutshell. After the game was revealed, the game also came with a demo, right? So we took a little time to play the demo, and so I'm going to bring you some of our impressions. So first of all, this demo in a nutshell, it feels like a cross between Final Fantasy VII Remake and Neo. So when you look at the mechanics of the combat and the exploration and all that, it certainly has that Neo feel to it, that Neo vibe to it, right? But at the same time, it also has a lot of Final Fantasy VII in it, right? So let's talk about some of the things that I liked and some of the things that I didn't like, right? First of all, one of the things that's kind of interesting is that you have a job class system, right? And each job class has its own skill tree, and you can equip 2 job classes that you can switch at any time, and you can make combinations with them. And it's pretty cool because you can also put different armors on the different classes, so you can have 2 different sets of armor equipped that you can switch between. And that's pretty interesting. Another thing that I really liked was the break system, which is an armor break system that you can use on the enemies, right? And there's also Soul Burst, which you might have seen in the trailer, where the character like stomps on the enemy for a kill animation, and you kind of get a little bit of MP from that, right? And it's very smooth and it's pretty well done, pretty fun. So combat is usually you trying to like get these moments where you can pull these things off, right? Overall, the combat was with some enemies like bombs and goblins and stuff. It was nice to see Final Fantasy Classic there. And one of the other things that I really liked was Garland.
I become chaos.
Garland as a fight, I didn't want it to be super easy. I wanted it to be a challenging battle because Garland has a certain reputation that comes from his time in Final Fantasy 1 and also his time in Dissidia, right? Really great game, everybody should try it out. Anyway, here Garland is a boss fight with 2 phases, and it's quite challenging, and it was really fun, right? Overall, he did manage to kind of put me in a really risky position a few times, but it went well. Now, as for the stuff that I didn't like, let's start with the gritty and boring environment.
This is the Shrine of Chaos. He's here.
The level design was very basic. There were no intricacies to this place that you were running through. There were no environmental puzzles, nothing really interesting to look at, and the color palette was like super grim and dark and stuff. And overall, it was just really dull looking. And if this is what the entire game's gonna look like, I don't know how I feel about that. Moving on from that, let's talk about our main character.
I only know one thing. I want to kill chaos.
Jack, right? So this guy is super pissed when it's time for cutscenes. He's like so angry. Chaos! I hate chaos. I eat chaos for breakfast. You know how it is. But when it's not a cutscene, he's just like super deadpan and calm about everything. Like he just suddenly can't care about anything. Okay, sure. So he's kind of like a cutscene only kind of character, I guess, when it comes to his personality. And then there are the other 2.
And who are you?
We're here to kill chaos.
Honestly, I don't remember their names. I kind of hate them, guys. Like, they're so useless in battle, and they're so useless out of battle that they're kind of nothing characters for me. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, why isn't this a solo game? You know? Me against chaos. That's just, like, why isn't it like that? See, in battle, these characters are really unhelpful, and enemies, they don't even go for these guys, so you can't even use them as, like, bullet sponges or whatever, you know, like, to take all the damage, because the enemies, for some reason, are just interested in you. And out of battle, these guys don't really have any good chemistry. They don't talk about anything other than what they need to. And it just doesn't really create a good environment for good roleplay. I don't really know what I'm supposed to think about these 2. Guy A and Guy B, whatever their names are. Overall, this demo left me with one feeling, and that feeling is curiosity. When the combat works, it is fun, and Garland is in it, and there is a cool story here. It's just that we don't have a lot of pieces, so I want to know more. But if we're gonna explore this entire story with Jack and Guy A and Guy B, where they're not helpful and these guys don't really have a good dynamic, like hanging out with each other, I don't really know how much more of this I can take. So that was Meng Gaming Preview's Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. God, I hope I got the title right. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, would love to hear what you guys think. Have you also tried this demo? It's out now, so anybody can play it. So we suggest you give it a try as well. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, thanks for watching. See ya.